This video is brought to you by QCY. Now, QCY recently released their latest model, the MeloBuds Pro. These earbuds are delivering serious performance and features at a low price. Now, there's a lot of info to go over here, so let's not waste any more time. So first, let's talk about that Bluetooth connection. So the QCY MeloBuds Pro are featuring Bluetooth 5.3 with AAC, SBC, and LDAC as their connection codecs. Now, these earbuds are compatible with Android and iOS devices. However, you will need an Android device to take advantage of the LDAC codec for high-quality listening. Now, when it comes to Bluetooth range, you do get about 37 feet or about 11.2 meters. Now, distance will vary based on the connection codec. So if you use AAC, you'll get the full 37 feet. But if you do LDAC, you're going to get closer to around 25 to 30 feet. Now, the MeloBuds Pro also features single usage mode, and it works seamlessly. So you can leave one earbud charging in the case while you use the other one by itself. And you also maintain the ability to use both active noise cancellation and transparency mode with only one earbud in use. Additionally, the MeloBuds Pro are also featuring multi-point connectivity for up to 2 devices. Now, so far, the multi-point feature works well with all of my devices. However, multi-point only works with AAC or SBC codecs. So you can either have LDAC or you can have multi-point, but not both at the same time. So just something to keep in mind. So now let's move over to watching video and mobile gaming. So the MeloBuds Pro have minimal latency when watching videos. So whether it's YouTube, Netflix, TikTok, Disney+, all of them work perfectly. Now, these also feature a low latency gaming mode that reduces latency to 80 milliseconds. Works very well for casual mobile gaming in my testing. Now, one of the most important questions when it comes to any set of earbuds is comfort. Now, comfort is subjective, so I can only base this on my own ears. But for me, the MeloBuds Pro are surprisingly comfortable. Now, they are featuring an ergonomic stem design. They're very light, they're very comfortable for my large ears, so I haven't experienced any sort of ear fatigue, discomfort, or pain during my testing. Now, grip overall is very good, but this will depend on proper ear choice and obviously the shape of your ears. Now, in the box, you do get 3 sizes of ear tips, so you'll definitely want to make sure you try out the different sizes to make sure that you get the ones that fit your ears best. So far, the MeloBuds Pro have performed admirably on my walks, and I haven't had any slippage or needed any sort of adjustments. Now, lastly, they also feature an IPX5 water resistance rating, so that makes these a good option for outdoor use, for gym, or for your workouts. So now let's talk about the controls. So the MeloBuds Pro use customizable touch controls. You can do a single touch, double touch, triple touch, or a long press. And all of these are customizable except for the long press. Now, the MeloBuds Pro also feature in-ear detection for automatic play pause. Now, that's something I wasn't expecting at this price point, so really nice to see. And the touch controls themselves are very responsive and they are very easy to use. Once you customize them to where you want them set up and you remember what all your commands are, super easy to control. Now, speaking of the QCY app, this app is available for both iOS and Android. Now, you open up the app and you're going to see your battery status. Now, you click over onto the sound tab and you'll see sound effect with the 6 EQ presets, as well as the spatial audio and your custom EQ preset. So you can go in and create your own custom EQ. Now, below that, you have your noise canceling modes, which is normal, transparency, and active noise cancellation. With ANC, you do get 5 options, including adaptive, indoor, commuting, noisy, and anti-wind. Indoor, commuting, and noisy can all be adjusted manually. Adaptive and anti-wind adjust themselves. Below this, you have your sound channel balance. So that's basically your left-right. So if maybe you have one ear that's slightly, has a little bit more hearing loss than the other or more sensitive, you can make those adjustments right there. Now, we click over to the settings tab and you'll see your control customization, find my earbuds, the power off timer, wear detection, the auto power off, gaming mode, sleep mode, LDAC switch, your multi-point switch, firmware, and more reset settings. So the app isn't required in order to use these earbuds to their full potential, but I strongly recommend it so you can EQ these earbuds to your personal preference. Just a humble recommendation. That's all. So now let's get into the battery life of the QCY MeloBuds Pro. So these earbuds come in at 7.5 hours with noise cancellation turned on and 8.5 hours with noise cancellation turned off. But you can expect those numbers to take a hit if you activate LDAC or gaming mode, since both of those modes will eat that battery life. Only use those modes as needed. Now, the charge case does give you an additional 4 charges, bringing battery life to a combined total of 34 hours. Overall, not bad. The case itself charges via USB-C. Unfortunately, there is no wireless charging here. Considering all the other features that are included at this price point, this is a feature that I can personally live without. So that's going to bring us over to the active noise cancellation. So the MeloBuds Pro have surprisingly good active noise cancellation performance with as much as 46 decibels in noise reduction. As I mentioned before, you do get 5 active noise cancellation options, adaptive being my personal favorite since it automatically adjusts itself based on the ambient noise levels. It also felt the strongest in my testing. Even when I was using the adjustable modes and I had them maxed out, adaptive still canceled out more noise. So not sure why that is, but it is what it is. Now, I also found the wind noise reduction feature very useful on outdoor walks in windy conditions. So it's really nice to see that here on these earbuds. Overall, this is excellent performance for a sub $50 set of earbuds, in my personal opinion. Now that's going to bring us to the transparency mode. So we have a solid transparency mode here. It does feature a strength slider so you can control the amount of sound you want to let in. Now I kept mine set to level 4 since level 6 was a bit too loud for me personally and it added a little bit of hiss to it. So dialing it back to 4 or 3, it reduces the hiss and it makes sounds not overly loud, but you can still maintain that ambient awareness. So definitely something to do, but you want to adjust that to your own personal liking. Like I said, mine's 3 or 4. You can choose your own. So now let's get into the volume and the sound quality. But first, if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, do me a favor. It's free for you and it helps the channel greatly. Now, firstly, volume. So volume comes in at 112.3 decibels in my testing. Not the loudest earbuds on the market, but more than loud enough for most people, including myself. I tend to listen to my music at about 50 to 65% volume with these earbuds, so I am good here. But if you do need something that's going to be far, far louder, feel free to ask me in the comment sections and I can, give you a recommendation for that. Now, when it comes to sound quality, the MeloBuds Pro are equipped with 12mm dynamic drivers, and they also support LDAC for high-res wireless audio listening. Now, obviously, to get the most out of these, you will have to have good source audio, so either music that's downloaded into your device or one of the streaming services that actually offers high-quality music. I'm not talking about Spotify here. Sorry, my Spotify listeners, but you're going to have like Apple Music, Tidal, Qobuz, something along those lines that offers like lossless audio to get the most out of these earbuds. It does make a difference. Now, out of the box, the sound was decent, but it lacked clarity in the mids and the treble, in my opinion. So the bass was solid, punchy and deep though, despite all of that, but it still needed some cleanup. So I went into the app to make some EQ adjustments, and thankfully QCY did fix their app issues, and the MeloBuds Pro now, they respond very well to EQ adjustments. So pause it here to see the EQ adjustments that worked the best for me. Now, these adjustments open up the sound and let vocals and instruments breathe. I also added some additional sub bass in there to satisfy my own bass head needs. With this EQ applied, these sound much better than I had expected. You get deep rumbly bass, you get vocals that are present and lively, and the treble is nice and crisp. Definitely makes these a top contender for the best earbuds under 50 bucks. Now, one feature that I hadn't touched on yet was the fact that these earbuds do feature spatial audio. So this feature only works with LDAC turned off. Want to throw that out there first and foremost. Overall, I would say this feature is just okay. It can add depth to TV shows and movies as well as some live music recordings, but I really don't recommend it for music since it pulls the warmth and the bass out of most modern recordings. So that's just something to keep in mind. For TV shows, for stuff like that, it's great. But for music, it just wasn't my cup of tea. But here's the thing. It's a really cool feature to have and highly unexpected out of a set of earbuds at this price point. So huge kudos to QCY for actually including this in a set of earbuds at this price point. Now, if I had to give them any sort of constructive criticism, anything along those lines, right? The only real negative thing I can say about the MeloBuds Pro is that the first set I received for testing, the first review sample I received, had actually malfunctioned during testing. Specifically, one of the earbuds stopped working and would no longer reconnect. Now, I reached out to QCY about this. They sent out another pair to replace the first. Now, I'm telling you this because I want to maintain full transparency with you despite the fact that this is a sponsored video. Now, earbuds do malfunction from time to time, and no manufacturer is immune to quality control issues. As many of you already seen, Sony and Sennheiser recently experienced battery problems with their last gen earbuds, and Samsung just delayed their Galaxy Buds 3 Pro due to quality control issues. So this is not nothing new in this industry. Anytime we talk about mass-produced electronics, there tend to be failures here and there. So nothing is perfect. Now, the reason I say all of this is not to make excuses for QCY, but to add context to a problem that many brands experience at the same time. But either way, I just wanted to make sure you were aware of what I went through during my testing process. So now, let's go ahead and jump into some all-important microphone samples, and I'll be doing outdoor, wind, and indoor to give you a good idea of what you can expect out of these earbuds. Alright, so here we have the microphone test for the QCY MeloBuds Pro. So, testing, 1, 2, 3. As you can see, I'm indoors in a semi-quiet room. So, testing, 1, 2, 3. Alright, so here we have the QCY MeloBuds Pro in a simulated crowd noise environment. So something like a busy bar, a crowded restaurant, or something along those lines. So, testing, 1, 2, 3. And here we have the QCY MeloBuds Pro in a simulated windy environment. I've got my fan blowing right here, so you guys can hear that right there. So yeah, testing, 1, 2, 3. So hopefully these are holding up well under these conditions. Now, with that out of the way, and for full disclosure, this video was sponsored by QCY. Now, despite this, they received no rights for script approval and were not allowed to see this video prior to it being published. As such, I'm still free to tell you how I truly feel about these earbuds, whether good or bad. I'm telling you all of this because I believe in transparency and honesty with you as the viewer. Please be sure to watch multiple videos before making your final purchase decision. As always, there will be links in the video description so you can check these out for yourself if you want to do that. Now, if you're interested in seeing my top 5 noise canceling earbuds under $100, check out the video that I'll leave for you right up here on the screen. With that said, my name is JEFE, and I'm out.